Greetings everyone, Sylvain-98 back at it again with the rest of this video for all female Kamen Riders ranked weakest to strongest. We are on number 12 and number 11. Aaliyah, Kamen Rider Dark Necrom Pink, and Jay, Kamen Rider Dark Necrom Yellow. So let's check it out.
The Dark Necroms definitely seem like they would be complete afterthoughts, but that really isn't the case for either one. Both are stronger than base form Ghost, who's fought on equal footing as Ichigo, a character who can survive 500 gigaton nukes and dodge literal beams of light. And they're almost as strong as the original Necrom, who beat Tokon Boost Ghost and Spectre in a 2v1. Aaliyah is the weaker of the two, but probably not by much. Sure, she lost her only fight, but that was against the Gonmeisers, the final bosses of the series. It definitely feels weird putting two characters of such relative insignificance so high on the list, but numbers don't lie, and either one of these ladies could tear through the competition like tissue paper.
Ooh. Ooh.
Isn't shown to be as powerful as the other top tiers for Ryuki, but the fact that she managed to outlast half the competition means she couldn't be too far behind in terms of power as well as skill. She's strong enough to pierce Zolda's hand through his armor and delivered the killing blow to Oja, though she did have help from a stronger character. Considering how level 2 Brave stood almost no chance against Oja and level 2 Xaid was able to swiftly defeat Blue Necrom, I'd say Fom has a pretty good chance of beating the Necrom girls. In a similar case to what I said about Eden, Fom dragging another character into the mirror world would end up killing them, but she's never met another Kamen Rider who can't survive in the mirror world, so she has no reason to assume otherwise. While arguably not as strong as Sin Spectre, Kanon was pretty evenly matched with the Ganma Ultima Ebony, and likely could have beaten him without her brother's help. The standard, weaker version of this monster has beaten Necrom repeatedly, and pushed Deep Spectre to his physical limits, which should put her within the range of Grateful's 15 times multiplier. Level 3 was able to stalemate the same opponent as Deep Spectre, and since Oja's stronger than a level 2 but weaker than a level 4, this should make Kanon and Fom fairly evenly matched. This one could go either way, but ultimately I have to give the point to Kanon since I don't think Fom could have actually beaten Oja on her own. And while level 3 was able to stalemate the real Buckster in a 2v1, it's not unrealistic to suspect Deep Spectre could have been carrying more than his share of the weight during that fight.
Jeez.
This one is especially weird to me given that ride players are basically generic troopers, but turns out Nico scales above the majority of the characters on this list. Nico was able to beat a level 5 Revol Bugster, already making her stronger than Ghost and Ryuki riders. The Gain Riser program installed within her suit raises her physical stats as she gains experience points, unlike the common riders who have static levels. While I'm unsure what her level is exactly, she's potentially killed multiple monsters off screen and is credited with delivering the killing blow to the level 99 Graphite. So it's likely she's much stronger than just a level 5.
Dang.
There's a big meme amongst Kamen Rider fans about Poppy being stronger than Gain Kiwami and Evil Cobra, which is really only true in terms of their official stats, but regardless, Poppy actually did end up being one of the strongest female Kamen Riders. She's at least twice as strong as Nico, and I say at least because thanks to her being level X, Poppy is basically given a random number as her level, meaning at any given moment she could be as strong as a level 99 or as weak as a level 1. Other than her sheer power though, Poppy really doesn't have many other notable abilities. As a digital being, it's possible she could enter an electronic device and destroy it from within. But this really would only apply to Valkyrie and Mua, who Poppy would already beat. Bugsters are able to teleport, but they usually only do so as a last resort while escaping battle. And while she could potentially come back from the dead infinitely, it isn't something that she can do instantly or without outside help.
Jesus.
Though Samara doesn't stand out much amongst the other characters who save her, when compared to the other female riders, she's practically god tier. Being able to defeat the Lords of Wise makes her comparable to Cross Saber, the same form which can stop Storius from colliding two universes together. and she's able to keep up with Psycho, who moves at the speed of light. But independent of speed and power, her smoke form makes her an absolute pain in the ass to deal with. She can shift in and out of tangibility at will. There's seemingly no limit to how many times this can be done, and she can even choose which parts of her body remain tangible, letting her attack and defend simultaneously.
Dang.
Not to mention, she can turn other people and objects into smoke as well. While this could potentially work as an insta-kill option, assuming the effect doesn't automatically wear off, it isn't something she's known to use against enemies stronger than herself, so it doesn't really change her placement.
Aww.
John and Aguilera basically parallel one another, so it makes sense to cover both at once. I'm not going to be counting Aguilera and Dark Aguilera as two separate characters. They're presumably of equal strength anyway. It would make as much sense to me as giving Loveco her own spot. The comparison between Aguilera and Sabra is actually extremely simple. Sabra has fought against Aguilera's group of Deadmans before, in which the Deadmans had an easy victory against the Riders. While I don't think Aguilera in her human form really made any impact in this fight, her Deadman's form is outright stronger than Daioika, and her Rider form is even stronger than this. John, with help from Kenzan, managed to defeat the Himiko CRISPR, who Sabra and Durandal previously failed to defeat. As for who is the stronger of the two Revice girls, well, both have beaten opponents that the other couldn't, so it should be about a 50-50. Until you factor in Invincible John, in which case the answer should be obvious. That being said, interestingly enough, John actually does have one weakness that Aguilera lacks. Unlike Aguilera, John's suit doesn't filter air and is seemingly designed to do the exact opposite. This makes her particularly susceptible to putrid smells and poisonous gases, which could cause her some serious pain if she happened to inhale some of Sabra's nauseous pheromone-laced smoke. I definitely think it's still possible for Sabra to win with her combat hacks combined with skill, but in order for her to actually beat the two, she would need to be performing at her absolute best to make up for the strength gap, whereas John and Aguilera are strong enough to beat her just by performing at an average level. Since the original tackle was easy bottom tier bait, it's quite poetic to see her successor reach the third place spot. I had a little bit of trouble deciding how Black Tackle should be tiered compared to Aguilera and John. It might be a little weird to see her placed higher than the Revice girls since she ultimately lost to the two of them, but the key words in this instance are the two of them. When analyzing these characters, I have to consider how each fight would occur in a vacuum. It's very clear Aguilera needed help from John in order to win this fight, and if John were not present, these events might have played out much differently. While I did say the original Tackle's two main abilities weren't very useful, Black Tackle is once again the exact opposite. Unlike the original, Black Tackle's telekinesis completely dictates the flow of battle. There's no way to actually defend against it, besides just hoping she doesn't use it. Even though we didn't get to see it, it's safe to assume the Ultra Cyclone would have been enough to kill Aguilera. But could it kill Invincible John? Since this form is a fusion between her and Loveco, and has stats twice as high as her base, it could be around twice as durable. Well, Black Tackle presumably was made with some of the best technology Black Satan has available. Their leader, Miss Titan, is so powerful that John and Sabra in a 2v1 stood almost no chance of meeting her, and it took all 6 riders working together in order to take her down. Though Black Tackle's durability wouldn't grow to match her mother's, using this technique, her energy output certainly should.
Jesus.
And unlike the original, who only sacrificed herself to save Stronger, Black Tackle is completely brainwashed by Black Satan and would eagerly sacrifice herself if deemed necessary. While she might hesitate to use this move against Hana, given her sentimental feelings towards her, Yuriko has no such feelings towards Sakura. It wouldn't necessarily be an easy victory, but in my opinion, Black Tackle does have the tools she needs to beat the girls from Revice. Deserving the penultimate spot on this list, Natsumi is the heiress to the Hikari family's secret technique. By tapping an opponent's pressure point, Natsumi can send her victim into an uncontrollable fit of laughter, appropriately inhibiting their motor functions as a result. In all seriousness, however, Kivala does possess one seriously impressive feat. While it's clear that Decade let his guard down and wanted to die, you have to keep in mind this is the same guy who just got done killing every other Kamen Rider, including Ultimate Kuga. But I still doubt Kivala is as strong as peak Decade. So is she really that much stronger than the other multiverse busters? Sure, Storius could only destroy 2 universes, but the Revice Rider should be stronger than this. Is that not enough to close the gap? Well, it turns out Decade is just on a completely different level. In Zeo, Swartz was able to merge 20 different universes at once, with only half of Decade's power. Not to mention seasons like Build confirm that alternate branching timelines do indeed exist. It's no wonder official episode descriptions have stated Decade can destroy an infinite number of universes. Just the fact that Kivala managed to not only take hits from him, but also pierce his armor and flesh and kill him, is a serious testament to her power. And she'd easily be at the very top of the list, if not for her one final combatant.
Yeah.
Appropriately enough, the female writer from Zeo ends up topping the list. As a member of the royal family, Alpina's natural time-warping abilities far exceed that of the other Timejackers. Well, I can't really say if Tsukuyomi could just keep time frozen indefinitely. Assuming this ability does have limited stamina, this limitation likely isn't even worth considering, since a weaker Timejacker Ur was able to spam his time rewinding ability up to 1,000 times in a row. That being said, Tsukuyomi is actually weaker than Kivala, at least in a traditional sense. The comparison is pretty simple. Kivala impaled Decade while he was at full strength and managed to kill him. Meanwhile, Tsukuyomi impaled a Decade who was only half as strong and failed to kill him. However, even with her blatant strength advantage, Kivala has absolutely no way of defending herself against Tsukuyomi's time stop, and the overall gap in power isn't quite wide enough to keep her from just absolutely getting decked in frozen time. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.
Well, there we go.
Analyzing some of the more obscure and underappreciated writers that wouldn't really get a chance in the spotlight otherwise.
Fair
And
enough.
tertiary writers, so stay tuned.
Gotta check out that video. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this two-parter. I certainly did. Yeah, it's pretty fun to see all this happen and play out. Yeah, because these ranking lists, it's hard sometimes, like what Lambo and Night of the Sphere said before. It's hard to judge them based on you have your mob fighters, you have your your mob fighters, your city fighters, your world fighters, and then you have your your multi-dimensional fighters, and then you have your multiverse fighters, and so on and so forth. So it's yeah, it gets harder and harder to grade them when you get higher up the list. It's easy when they're the mob characters, but when you start getting to their super forms or their mega ultra forms or whatever, it gets a bit gray area'd. Anyway, you guys take care. Looking forward to seeing what you guys think of this video and the upcoming videos to come. And please like, comment, subscribe down below as we get on to the next of the Toko content. But first, a little song break again, because I do enjoy a good song, as you can see by my jamming. But for now, you guys take care. Look forward to seeing more. Bye!